Okay, now you guys know what is your next assignment or next task in the class. You have to basically mark two sections, one along the depth of the house and the other one along the width of the house, and you have to draw them. Uh, Let me share screen with you. Tell me, can you see the screen? What do you see on the screen? Write in chat. Can you guys see the screen? A plan, yes. So you're seeing AutoCAD. Uh, this is a plan, ground floor plan, and up till now, you guys have already drawn the plans for your project, term project. Now, guys, you have to mark two sections on the plan on the ground floor. Now, from wherever, do not annotate on the screen. Right. Section on the ground floor would pass. At the same location, the section on the first floor would pass. So it means that if I'm marking a section over here with the help of line command, right? You are and another section like this. With this, I have to also draw the arrows. Arrows mean on which side I'm going to sight. Now, while deciding this section, we should take this thing into consideration that our section should not pass the stairs. Although there is no problem if it is passing through stairs, but your section would become complicated. So avoid passing your section through these stairs, as well as uh, if you have a Mumty floor, it is your choice. Mumty, you know, we have already discussed Mumty in the staircase drawing. Mumty is a room over the staircase. So it is your choice that you want to show the Mumty or not. Okay, it is totally your choice. If we talk about section starts from the foundation at the lower level, and then you reach the plinth or the DPC level. Then you have to show the ground floor, then the ground floor slab, first floor slab or the roof slab. Okay, and it ends at the top of the parapet at the top most point of the house, right? So these two sections you have to draw, and one elevation you have to draw. I have already given you samples for plan and elevation and section in your groups. Uh, the other thing that you can do is you have already made the plan. You have to create layers. I have told you what is the layers toolbar. If you have any question, you can write down it and ask afterwards, or you can write your questions in the chat. This is the layers toolbar. You can see over here a lot of layers are made, like arc area, boundary wall column, then door, fixtures, furniture, and text. So there are many layers which are which you can create. Basically, by creating layers, you can give different colors to each layer. And what would be the advantage of that? Let me show you first how to create a new layer. Simply right click over here, add new layer. Okay, give it a name, give it a name, and give it a color. select any color from here, press OK, right? So that would be a layer. How to assign this color to any wall? Let's say I'm selecting this wall and I say it would show you that this wall is in which layer. Simply go over here and say that this is in this layer. So you can see that the color of the object or whatever you have drawn is changed. By giving different or by defining layers, by assigning different colors to different elements, what we can do is we can give different line weights to different elements. What is the meaning of line weight? Line weight we would discuss when we would print the drawing. Different lines can be given different thicknesses. That is the meaning of line weight. Right? So I'm getting a couple of questions. Let me read. There is roll number 95. He is asking, अपने plan का section बनाना है या जो obviously these sections you have to mark on your plans, and you have to create section for your own plan, right? If you recall, we have already drawn a section in the first year drawing. In the first year drawing, you have done the building drawing. In building drawing, you have drawn the plan, elevation, and section. But over there, you just simply copied your drawings. But in our class, we have drawn the plan according to the sample that you uploaded in the group and I approved, because your plans should be technically correct. They should be designed by some architect. So if they were technically correct, I have approved them and you have redrawn them. But now, next thing you have to do it yourself. You have to create their elevations, and you have to mark sections, two sections, one across the width in the horizontal direction, the other one along the depth. Depth is in the vertical plan dimension. Okay, so I'm going to tell you again about the dimensions. The dimensions in building drawing are for any room. Look, if we write 16 feet into 11 feet, 16 feet is the width of the room and 11 feet is the depth of the room. Now depth is different than height. Height is the vertical one. Okay. So obviously in the plan, you do not have the height I have given you in your data. Somebody raised the hand. I would suggest that you can write down your questions in the chat, or if you have questions that need to be discussed, you can write them down and we can have a question and answer session at the end of class. Right? Now, while creating an elevation I do not have over here. Let me find elevation. Look, this is let's say an elevation. I have also given you a sample for elevation in the group. Look, while drawing the elevation, you should not draw the front boundary wall and the front gate. So ignoring them, you have to draw the elevation of the house. Simply, you have to pick up these windows, the width of the windows and the width of the doors, width of the wall elements from the plan. Okay. And you have to go into the vertical direction. You have to give the vertical levels to everything. You have to give the sill level, you have to give the lintel level, and in this way, the elevation would be created. So in elevation, you are not going to show the front boundary wall and the front gate, right? Now let me answer your questions. Muhammad Ehtasham is asking, sir, design blocks like sofas, bed are important to use in our choice. Is it in add marking? No. Uh, Basically, the plan with the furniture is called as the furniture plan, and that is not required in your case. If anybody wants to draw something, it is her choice. Otherwise, it is not mandatory. By the way, from this question, I can tell you one more thing. If I have told you how to draw a block, every furniture or every car or everything that you see in your plans is basically drawn with the help of all of these commands, drawing command and the modification command. There is no new thing. You have to actually decide the shape, sizes, and draw them. Let's say I'm drawing a rectangle. Let's say I've drawn a rectangle, and let's say this is a bed or something. Okay. Now, obviously, you would use multiple things, multiple commands. You may use rectangle, line, arc, or circles, or any other shape. Now, if you want to make this whole thing, I would add something over here. Let's say this is some furniture element. Now, when I would select it, they are two elements or two objects. If I want to make them as a one element, I would use the block command, block. Okay. This window would appear. I would give name to this block. Okay. From the objects, I would click over here. It would ask me to select the object. I would select the object, press the spacebar button or the enter button, and it would give me a preview over here that it is the shape of the object, and I would press OK. This I don't remember that I've told you or not. Now see, this is a block. It would not change its shape. It would not. It would act as one element. Okay. You can even from this command, you can even give the base point for this object. Base point mean from where it is going to be picked, right? So in this way, you can make any object. Next question. What should be the height of roll number 91 is asking what should be the height of elevation? Can we make any design of elevation? Height of elevation is restricted, or the building elevation is restricted in every area. Uh, in LDA it is different, in other areas it is different. But generally speaking, if your building is under 35 feet, everything, it includes the multi-floor as well as the overhead water tank. It is fine, no problem. Okay, in any area. So how are you going to decide the height of elevation? I have given you heights in your data. Can you make any design? Yes, you can make any design in the elevation, but your elevation should reflect the plan. Whatever the features are present on the front side of the plan, they should reflect they should be reflected in the elevation. If there is a window, let's say in the plan, and on the same location should be window in the elevation. I hope I've answered rule number 91. 103 is asking boundary wall, we should draw one-sided foundation or it's up to us? Yes, good question. 103. Basically, foundations are under the surface. Now, what the problem is that you cannot go outside your property limit. If you are if you are making, or generally, or in all of the cases, the boundary walls are constructed at the property limit. Property limit means that the line after which your property ends. Now, if any foundation is constructed at the property limit, your foundation cannot go outside that line. So what is done in that case? Unsymmetrical foundation or asymmetrical foundation are provided. It means whatever steps you are extending on both sides would be extended on one side only. For example, if I can share a sample of unsymmetrical foundation with you, but I would also draw it over here. Look, this is wall, 4.5 inches wide. And this is the DPC and the floor level, FFL. Under this floor level, the wall should be 9 inches wide. Every 4.5 inches wide wall below the DPC would be 9 inches wide. The reason is that 4.5 inches wide wall cannot withstand the lateral loads. So under the DPC, it should be 9 inches. When you would go below, this is the property limit on this side. Okay. So your foundation would be on one side. This addition previously was 2.25. Now it would be 4.5 inches. Right? And under this, you would provide PCC layer. Students, can you tell me, can you see this diagram, which I've annotated? Write down in chat. Can you see this wall foundation that I've drawn? That's great. Okay, that's fine. I know that you can see it, right? And height of this this boundary wall above DPC should not be more than 5 feet. This rule is in most of the housing societies, that this boundary wall should not be more than 5 feet high. Right? Foundation depth I've already given you in the data. Now, Mohammed Etsham is asking, sir, steps should both sides? Yes, Etsham, the steps should be on the both sides for the walls which are inside your property. This particular section I have drawn for the wall which is at the property limit. If you are drawing any wall at the property limit, your foundation cannot go outside that property limit. Okay, so in such a case, the foundation is one-sided, not both-sided. Okay. Now if you have any question, you can write down in any question regarding your previous lab or the next assignment. If you have any question, you can write down in text in the chat, or you can raise your hand. I would unmute your mic. 103 is asking, sir, if boundary wall is also load bearing like it is used for a room, then also we will draw one-sided foundation. Yes, Uzair. Actually, what happens in most of the cases, you would see that the boundary wall in residential housing, the boundary wall is on one side of the house. You are providing gully or passage on one side of the house. On the other side, it is connected with the next property. So it means that your load carrying wall would be at the property limit on the other side of the house. So in that case, its foundation would be again one sided inside of your property. All of the steps that you were first distributing on both sides would be distributed on one side only. Okay, similar to this one. Do you get my point 103? 103. Yes, exactly same one-sided foundation. Yes, width of steps remain same. That's the important point. Look over here, 9 inches. Next step would be 13 and a half. 13 and a half. Extension is only on one side. Next step would be 18 inches. Right? Yes, so there total width of the footing would go on one side. You are right. Instead of 2.25 inches, you would extend 4.5 inches on one side. You are right. So is your question answered 103? Good. Mohammed Sham is asking slab की शेड बाहर रखनी हो तो किस लाइन से शो करेंगे with dotted line, dash line. Ehtisham, it is dashed line. Any shade projection which is above the you can say uh, lintel height, anything, any projection which is above the lintel height is shown with dashed line. And you know why? Why? Because while we are drawing the plan, we remove the slab at a height which is above the sill level and just below the lintel level. So it means that the slab would be removed with the uh, uh, while showing the plan, and in that case, anything above the lintel would be shown with dashed line. Uh, but I'm not clear that have you asked this question about plan or section at Sham? Have you asked this question about you are asking? At Sham, whatever I've told you is regarding the plan. In the section and an elevation, slab projection would be shown with solid line. This is one thing. The next question that you are asking is that floor finish level ग्राउंड लेवल से कितना ऊपर होना चाहिए. Okay, I'll show you. Look, road level is 0 feet 0 inches. Porch level is 1 feet 0 inches. Porch level is the exterior finish floor level. Okay, this is plus 1 feet. When we are talking about the road level is the crown of the road. You know, road is like this. Okay, it is lower from the sides and higher from the crown. So we are talking about this level. We are not talking. We are road level is basically the crown level. Okay, so porch level is 1 feet above this level, right? Next thing is interior ground finish floor level. This is again plus 1 feet from the porch level. Okay, this is the minimum altitude, minimum height of interior ground finish floor level from the porch level, right? And NSL would be somewhere below road level. The boundary wall height that I was telling you would be from the porch level, right? So first of all, I hope that I have answered this question of levels. At Sham, is this clear first of all, or then we can proceed? Let me unmute at Sham. At Sham?
Yes, sir.
Acha, is this thing clear about the levels?
Yes, sir. Everything is clear.
Do you have any further question?
सर प्रोसीड करें नेक्स्ट टाइम फिर करते हैं
चलें ठीक म्यूट कर लें अपना
ओके सर
अच्छा नेक्स्ट थिंग इज roll number 88 is asking sir should our roll number 88 is asking so should our section exactly passes through the middle of the plan or it is your choice. It is your choice, and the idea is that the important details should be shown. That is the idea. You can even use a turning line in your section. I hope you remember what is turning line. 88, okay? 103 is asking if the walls of first floor will not coincide with that of ground floor, will we will show a beam in section at that place on which this wall will reside and beam will bear the load. We can draw beam in the slab or on top of slab separately. 103, you are exactly right. But basically, if you understand this, then it is very good. Otherwise, this is not the scope of our class. This basically provision of beams or the framing plan to create a framing plan is under the scope of design of structures which you would study in the 8th semester. Okay, you decide that wall is not coming over wall, so we need a beam underneath that, and in that way you decide what is going to be the framing, how you are going to transfer the load. But if you understand this, you can show a beam underneath the wall and can everybody hear me? Write down in the right. Yes, sorry. The questions you can write again. If your questions are not answered, you can raise your hand. I would unmute your mic, or you can write down in the chat. Any question regarding drawing the plan, which you have already done, or any feature of the AutoCAD. If I would know, I would definitely tell you, or anything related to section, drawing the section and the elevation. Yes, if you feel that you have done some mistake in the plan, you can definitely correct it. Clear height of the room, Jawad, I have already given you in the data. Check in your group. 11 feet. You can take the clear height or the ceiling height as 11 feet. Then there would be some thickness of the slab. Take 6 inches thickness of the slab, and again 6 inches for the floor finishes. So it means that above the ground floor, you would give a layer of 6 inches plus 6 inches. It means 1 foot, and over that would be the ceiling height of the first floor. Submission date is next week, 96 roll number, and all of you that the submission of elevation and section would be next week, same day. Same time. I would also write the section, write the instructions in the group. 103 is asking, like the plan which we have selected in it, the architecture has done some mistake. Uzair, I'm going to unmute you. Uzair, where is Uzair? Uzair? Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think is the mistake?
सर वो ना स्टेयर्स हाल था जिधर उधर उसने नीचे दीवार दी हुई है और उसके बाद ना कोई उधर जाने का रास्ता है और ना कोई विंडो है ना डोर है, कुछ भी नहीं। तो वॉल उसके नीचे वैसे भी मुझे लग रहा था कि नहीं आएगी और वैसे भी वो जगह जो है वो अभी उसके बाद फिर यूज भी नहीं हो सकेगी। तो मैं सोच रहा था कि इधर
डोर दे दें, डोर विंडो दे दें, ठीक है।
तो सर फिर वो स्टेयर्स के नीचे वॉल का फिर क्या काम हो जाएगा स्टेयर हाल में अगर
उज़ैर, वो फिर आप ऐसा करें कि मुझे व्हाट्सएप करें प्लान, में आपको उसमें गाइड कर सकता।
ओके सर, थैंक यू, आई विल सेंड इट टू यू।
ठीक है, और कोई क्वेश्चन है आपका? एनी अदर क्वेश्चन जी? Any other question you can write down in text, or you can raise your hand. जी बच्चों, any question from AutoCAD? any problem that you faced while drawing the plan, or any problem that you foresee that you are going to have in drawing the section or elevation, you can ask. जी कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है आपका? Do you have a question or not? Okay, there is a question that the symbols which we will use in section like to show concrete etc is a must. Yes. Yes. In section, you should do the hatch. Have I told you what is hatch? Have we discussed about hatch? If I haven't told you about hatch, look, hatch is very easy. Let's say you have any closed boundary. First of all, the most important thing for doing the hatch is that the boundary should be closed. There shouldn't be any opening in the boundary. Whatever element you are going to hatch, it should have a closed loop, right? Whether it is drawn with one element or it is drawn with multiple elements, but its boundary should be closed. The command is H, enter, and better is that you in this window you would see boundaries and this symbol add pick points. Click on this, it would take you back to the screen. Click in the closed boundary, it would automatically calculate the boundary and press enter again. It would take back to this dialog box. Select the type of hatch from here. Okay, any type of hatch which is suitable for your case. Right, press OK. Okay, and it would be filled. Double click it to change the properties. You can also change the angle of the lines, or you can change the scale. 2 or 24. Okay, look. Can you see these dots? Or if they are not visible, I would change the hatch. Hatch. Add breakpoints. Look, this is hatch. Okay. The important thing is that hatch should be inside a closed boundary. And secondly, while you are selecting the boundary, the whole screen should be, or the whole element should be in your view. So sometimes it happens that if the whole element is not in your view, there is difficulty or AutoCAD takes more time in calculating the boundary. So it is better that the whole boundary is within your view, and secondly, the boundary is closed. The shortcut key of hatch is H. That Sham is asking, people ask the difference between horizontal and vertical lines. I've not got your point. Sham. Okay, Sham, I'll open your mic in something. Uzair is asking. Yes, but you are right there about which version of AutoCAD you are using there. 2020. I guess 2020 should have all of the symbols. This is a problem with older versions, but I think it should not be the problem with newer versions. Uzair is saying that you do not find most of the hatches in this window. He is right, but I think this problem is with the old version, not with the new versions of AutoCAD. Okay, Naveed Abbas is asking how to set the scale or size of the hatch. This you have to look, by default it would be a smaller size, okay, but you have to double click on the hatch and you have to give it a scale. You have to either increase the size or decrease the size depending upon the size of the whole diagram. Look, the whole diagram is going to be printed on the piece of paper. So depending upon the whole size, the total size of the diagram, you have to decide the size of the hatch. It should be visible and it should be not so large, not so small. So 102, I hope I have answered your question. Yes, Uzair, it is confusing to choose the correct one. Uzair, it happens that symbol, what symbol you want is there, but its name is something else. Okay, so it happens. It doesn't mean that if there is a hatch and it has some other name, so it would change the properties. You select the hatch based upon its shape, not its name. Okay, you have to select the hatch according to its shape. Whatever shape you require, you select it. Do not go after the name of the hatch, right? Okay, there was a question from Mr. Etsham. Etsham is saying, where is Etsham? Yes, Etsham. Yes, Etsham, what are you asking about horizontal and vertical lines? Etsham. Ji Etsham,
Yes,
what are
sir.
you asking? What are you asking about
sir,
horizontal and vertical lines?
सर बहुत सारे जो इंजीनियर्स लोग हैं वो पूछते हैं कि हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन और वर्टिकल लाइन में बेसिकली डिफरेंस क्या है?
हॉरिजॉन्टल और वर्टिकल लाइन में डिफरेंस क्या है?
Yes, sir.
ये किसका है? Horizontal is along the horizontal direction, vertical is along the vertical direction. इससे ज़्यादा डिफरेंस किसी ने क्या, मतलब मैं आप थोड़ा सिचुएशन क्लियर करें, क्या पूछना चाह रहे हैं?
सर ये बस यही लोग कहते हैं कि हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन होती है और वर्टिकल होती है. बेसिकली डिफरेंस क्या होता है इसमें? कोई डिफरेंस नहीं होता. क्या डिफरेंस? सर बड़े-बड़े इंजीनियर्स होते हैं वो भी ऐसे क्वेश्चन करते हैं, बट
कंफ्यूज करते होंगे आपको.
अच्छा, चलें सही.
ठीक है, कंफ्यूज करते होंगे और कोई बात नहीं है. देखें, अगर इफ यू टॉक अबाउट प्लान, ठीक है, प्लान डायमेंशंस की बात करेंगे तो एक को आप width कह सकते हैं, horizontal को, और vertical को आप depth कह सकते हैं, ठीक है। अब वो आपसे पूछेंगे length क्या होती है जी, ठीक है। Length, width and height are the dimensions in simple drawing, ठीक है, in engineering drawing as well. But when we talk about building drawing, the dimension across us is width, the dimension along our side is the depth, and the third dimension, which is vertical one, is known as the height. So the name of dimensions in building drawing is based upon our usage, right? The dimension across us is width, along us is the depth, and the third one, which is the vertical one, would be the height. Recall any classroom, let's say any classroom in the front side, S1, S2, okay? No, now the names are changed to, I think, C1 or C2, right? So the direction in which you are sitting, okay, that is the depth of the room, okay, and the dimension across along your width in along your shoulders is basically the width of the room. Ittisham, is it okay? There is a question about there is a question about sill level. Look, lintel level should be same in a building. Mostly, if you have to change the lintel level, you can change the lintel height of the entrance door, main entrance door. Otherwise, lintel level is same. Either it is 7 feet or 8 feet, depending upon the size of the building. In our department, throughout the building, the lintel height is 10 feet, right? About the sill level can be changed. Sill level nowadays for bedrooms, drawing rooms, it is 6 inches. It can be even 12 inches. It can be 2.5 feet. It can be 3 feet. Okay. In kitchens, if the window is over the counter, kitchen counter, then the sill level of kitchen window would be 4 feet. In washrooms, the sill level is mostly 4.5 feet or 5 feet. And in bedrooms, living rooms, there are various altitudes of various elevations of sill levels. It can be 6 inches, 1 feet, 2.5 feet, 3 feet, 3.5 feet. Okay. Any other question? Okay, if you don't have any other question, the class is over. Is there any question? Any question? The class is over. No need to write down your registration numbers.